our podcast on workplace safety. Today, we'll be discussing about safety practice and proactive measures that can prevent workplace incident. So, we were all shocked by the recent lift maintenance accident. It serves as a critical reminder for us about the importance of preventive action and building a strong safety culture. Today, we have Najwa, our safety officer. We have Damia, our environmental health and safety specialist. And also we have Manisha, our technician representative that work hands-on with machinery every day. Welcome everyone.
Hi.
Okay, let's start with you, Najwa. Could you explain the importance of this assessment and how they help in preparing for high-risk tasks like lift maintenance?
Yes, exactly. Risk assessment are absolutely essential, especially in high-risk tasks. They are about identifying potential hazards even work even begins. For lift maintenance, we do check the condition of the lift, the component, and any environmental factor that could impact the safety. We also look at the PPE required to the task.
Thank you, Najwa. What about you?
Without a thorough risk assessment, there is much higher chance that something dangerous could happen. Like there is an accident, if the risk is missed or overlooked, it could be very dangerous. So that's why every job should give the workers detail of the risk assessment that they might have to face if they start their job.
I agree, Dania. From my perspective, having a clear risk assessment makes a big difference when we are out there. But just as important is knowing how to properly use the PPE and the equipment. Sometimes, even with the right gear, workers might skip step or not use it correctly, especially if they are in a rush. I think training plays a huge role here. It's not just about wearing PPE, but also understanding how to respond if something unexpected happens, like equipment malfunctions.
Absolutely right, Manisha. Training is indeed critical. It's one thing to have a risk assessment and PPE, but without proper knowledge and skill, those can only just go so far. So this is where the OSHA guidelines really tie everything together. It's provide a framework not just for what PPE is needed, but also for the level and type of training required for different tasks. So when workers are training with OSHA standard, they're not just following the instruction, they also understand the why behind each step, which is build their confidence and also promote the proactive safety culture among workers. So, can anyone explain how do training and adherence to OSHA guidelines fit into this?
Great question, exactly. OSHA compliance goes hand in hand with risk assessment. Under OSHA 1994, employers are legally required to provide a safe working environment, which is giving workers the proper tools, the equipment, and training for their job. For lift maintenance, that means not just basic training. It includes comprehensive safety drill, so that every technician know what to do in emergency.
But it's really true about this, and OSHA also emphasizes routine safety reviews and emergency response planning. Regularly, reviewing procedures, especially for high-risk jobs, ensures that everyone is up to date on safety protocols. When these steps are consistently followed, it makes a big difference.
Yes, Manisha, reviews and risks are crucial, but we also have to look at the specific hazard of the task. Like we have to organize our approach accordingly. For instance, in lift maintenance, there are risks like falls, electrical shocks, and even mechanical failure. So in OSHA guidelines encourage us to conduct target hazard analysis for this kind of tasks, which help us to put in place more precise safety measures. It's not just about following checklists, it's about adapting those safety protocols to fit the unique risk of each environment.
Thanks everyone for answering this question. Safety drills and staying compliant with OSHA guidelines are vital for maintaining a safe environment. So Lamia, as our environmental health and safety specialist, could you talk about the importance of lockout or takeout procedure and how they apply to machinery maintenance?
Of course, Izaki, lockout is essential whenever we are dealing with machinery, especially for tasks like lift maintenance. This procedure ensures that machinery is fully shut down and cannot accidentally re-energize during maintenance. Lockout helps prevent accident ignition, which could be disaster for someone working on a piece of equipment.
In fact, OSHA has strict regulation around lockout and takeout, I think so, because it's so critical to workplace safety. If the procedure isn't followed, it only takes a split second for a machine to start up unexpectedly, which could easily lead to serious injury or worse than that.
Exactly, Manisha. Lockout isn't just a guideline. It's non-negotiable practice that, especially in a high-risk setting like lift maintenance, it's important that every team member needs to understand the lockout procedure. Even one misstep can expose everyone on site to significant risks. In addition, we also conduct routine checks to make sure that all equipment is properly tagged and secured before use.
That's a great point, everyone. Lockout or takeout isn't just about following rules. It's about actively protecting each other in the workplace. Now, let's move on to another fundamental safety measure that you guys mentioned earlier, PPE. How does PPE factor into safety, particularly for high-risk tasks?
PPE is crucial. It's essentially our last line of defense against potential hazard. For tasks like lift maintenance, technicians should wear harness to prevent falls, along with hard hats and steel-toed boots to protect against injuries. But just having PPE isn't enough. It's also important to ensure that it's in good condition. PPE that's damaged or worn can just be as dangerous as we doesn't wear anything.
For me, we also need regular PPE inspection as part to broader compliance check. If we are talking about safety culture, it's important that everyone need to understand the value of the PPE and doesn't see it as optional.
That's true, Najwa. From a technician's perspective, PPE is something we rely on daily, so we make sure to check it thoroughly before each task. We also have a routine where we inspect each other's PPE to catch anything we might miss individually. For example, in lift maintenance, even a small tear in a harness can lead to serious accident. So it's crucial that every piece of equipment is on top condition. We also keep an open line of communication during tasks, like using radios to ensure that if someone falls an issue, we can address it immediately. This approach helps us feel confident and stay focused on our work without unnecessary risk.
I really appreciate this insight, Manisha, but inspecting each other's equipment and maintaining a constant communication are creating a proactive safety culture. This is what exactly a strong safety culture looks like in action. When everyone takes responsibility, it builds trust and also helps to prevent accident. Manisha, as a technician, you work closely with this safety measure daily. So, how do you and your team rely on to ensure safety while performing maintenance work?
Thanks, Izaki. For us, one of the most important things is routine safety checks before we even start. For instance, when we are about to maintain a lift, we first check that the power is fully disconnected or the emergency stops are functional. We also look for any obvious wear and tear like train cabins. We also use a buddy system for high-risk tasks. When you have a partner with you, they can watch out for anything you might miss. It's simple, a measure, but adds an extra layer of safety. And if something does go wrong, there is someone there to assist immediately.
Definitely. We also have a regular safety meetings and debrief. Our safety meetings and debrief are a chance to talk about what went well and any issues may be encountered. For example, if someone noticed a hazard or had a close call, we discuss it openly so everyone can learn from it. These meetings are very valuable because they reinforce the idea that safety is a team effort.
Yes, that is absolutely right, Damia. And it's also not just in a paper. It's all about creating a safe working environment. When we take time to discuss these points regularly, it keeps us more aware and prepared about it.
Thanks, Malika and Nandra. And speaking of creating a safe environment, we can do regular safety audit. Support and equip to catch a potential hazard before they escalate. Regular audits also provide a change to review complaints to OSHA guidelines and ensure that equipment like lift are especially safety. So as we wrap up, I'd love to hear. I'm sorry. As we wrap up, I'd love to hear a final takeaway from each of you. So Najwa, let's start with you.
For me, the key takeaway is consistent risk assessment. By analyzing risk before each task, we give ourselves the best chance to identify and manage potential hazards.
I would emphasize change adhering to PPE and block out the procedure. These are optional steps. They are essential measures that protect life every day.
I know with routine safety checks and buddy system, these measures make a big difference in high risk and help us to stay accountable.
All good points. My takeaway is regular safety audits and inspection are critical for maintaining a safe environment. By catching a potential hazard early, we can create a workplace where everyone feels secure. Thank you for all your insight and thank you for our listeners for tuning in. And remember, safety is everyone's responsibility. And remember to always take care of yourself. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.